Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like we have a special GNN episode coming at 2 o'clock in the morning on October 25th, 2023. Mainly because apparently something has been unveiled a little early, to be quite frank. That's why we're going to this tweet here, because we have the Dijeh Traversia. Pretty sure I'm mispronouncing it because Google Translate, but we'll get into that shortly because we also have the trailer for it, which we'll get into that shortly. But it is a 650 cost mobile suit, general. So I'm pretty excited, and it'll be showing up on October 26th at 1900 hours Japan time. So unless by some unforeseen force that we get another PlayStation Network maintenance, it's gonna be crazy. So on to our trailer, and we'll react to it right on the spot, and then we'll break it down for you in just a little bit. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into the unveiling and breakdown of the new Dijeh Traversia, we do have to go over some information regarding the new developer newsletter that came out this month. Now, of course, we don't have the English one yet, so I'm just going to go straight in with Google Translate. But basically, it's Ishii from the development team. Want to thank us for playing this game, essentially, and talking about the weather, how it's hot, and it's now autumn, almost the end of October, and getting colder, so that's pretty cool. So apparently they did a user server it's not a research, but a survey regarding GBO2 and a lot of the things ongoing with that, and basically for the TLDR, sorting as a group in rated is going to be abolished. Basically, one of the things that they asked was, how do you feel about fighting together with friends? It seems like a lot of folks felt like it was great for quick and custom rooms, and then not so much for rated, which is the top bar here. Mainly because, you know, rated is supposed to be serious, in which ratings increase or decrease, so there's a lot of tension, even with friends as a group. They also asked about, how do you feel if you're in a battle with another group by yourself, basically solo queuing. And basically, for the most part, one of the things that I do hear a lot as well, that people have mentioned it in stream, is about how this game would be so much better with voice chat. Since there is no voice chat, the outcome of a match is highly dependent on the cooperation of the group, and there's many matches that you can't control on your own. Which, even for me, I have a tough time doing that. Every so often I kind of lose my brain a little bit, and it does kind of drive me nuts too. So I wouldn't be surprised if I'm, you know, a factor in that. You know, it's just one of those things that GBO2 does for a lot of folks. On top of that, you're forced to participate in a group, winning or losing based on your own skill. Almost becomes irrelevant. Even if you are able to cooperate with a group, you're not going to be able to control, basically, they say strays, people that are randomly just doing their own thing. So a lot of times you're in those unlucky teams, as people has mentioned that, and you'll see that on PC as well. One of the comments that they had, this is again Google Translate, so take it with a grain of salt. You wish they would no longer be able to play rated matches in group, basically. So among those that participate in solo matches with other groups, the majority of responders answered that rating matches are not fun. The same reason as mentioned above, easier to coordinate when sorties are made in groups, and slimmer options were found. So basically they concluded that for right now, as of now, with this upcoming update, that you won't be able to sortie as a group, which I can see both sides of the story with that, because there are some folks that are just getting into GBO2. PC will be eventually getting that in the next 2 months or so. That you got some folks that are stuck at a lower rating and trying to play with them and trying to help them progress and raise their pilot ranking. It's going to be kind of a diminishing factor. It's going to suck a lot. I definitely see that as well. And if anything, the nice thing about custom rooms is you can get them all together, get into those learning sessions, and teach your friends how to become much more efficient with a suit that they favor with, or find something that fills in that same niche with a particular suit that they particularly enjoy, like maybe just help walk them through the ropes over. On top of that, I do hope that they kind of lessen the restrictions on the actual ratings for quick matches if they're not restricting on group sorties. So we'll see as time progresses, because they are essentially looking at the fact that they want more people to invite more and more friends to play. So definitely groups are a factor, but for something like rated, they feel like, based on a lot of the feedback and a lot of the things that are ongoing, especially with folks doing some really unsavory stuff experience-wise in rated, that group sorties are pretty much out right now. Basically, they introduced that back in 2019 when they were implemented. There will always be a group if you are sorting a group on the opposite team. If there isn't enough, they'll fill in the gaps with like random people, which concept was great, but then those factors affected your playing experience essentially. So due to the changes, basically the number of mobile suits with long-range weapons have increased, so a lot of folks running supports essentially, and just ending up becoming a shootout, which I've been stuck in before. So basically, since the above is still ongoing right now, they still want you to invite more folks, more friends. Definitely enjoy the game, because I still find some caveats in there. But they know it's an ongoing issue that they're trying to address and take care of in short, which is what I'm reading here. And basically, yeah, so it's only going to be solo queuing for rated matches. They will, after that, they are looking at custom and quick being where solo and group sorties can mix, and then after that they will consider whether additional measures are necessary based on the situation. So they're trying to see, I wouldn't call this a band-aid solution, but they're trying to implement something to kind of address some of those issues where it's a little more, how do I say, I guess folks are aware rather than just kind of running off on their own. But at the same time, again, because it is a limited communication based game, that I don't know how that's going to affect the playing experience, plus like your rating as well, because we've seen that a lot where people have like more than 7 or to 10 losing streaks in a game because of all that random stuff. So there are also adjustments on mobile suits as well. Atlas, downward adjustment of Atlas and the Zeku's Way. So I'm gonna kind of read this verbatim a little bit, but basically it's getting a nerf? Well, let me try to read this really quick. Sorry. Obtain battle performance data over a sufficient period of time as a result of renewing and adjusting performance of the suit in the same cost range. There's a slight change in battle performance, but there's no major change that could be considered an improvement. For this reason, we're proceeding with tests and adjustments based on the assumption of a downward adjustment. So yeah, it's going to get a nerf in the November update next month. So both the Atlas Gundam and the Zeku's Way are going to get hit. So twin Zeku's Way compositions and squads full of Atlas Gundams, yeah, that's coming. About the adjustments of the mass-produced ZZ and full armored ZZ, looks like that's going to get nerfed a little bit as well. Current situation, battle record is expected range, other aircraft's cost range have been dispatched. I'm kind of reading this as quickly as possible because we do have the main event suit. Okay, so the mass-produced ZZ is not going to be changing, so that's going to be, or yeah, the mass-produced is, oh, there's been requests to debuff or to nerf the mass-produced ZZ, so yeah, that's not coming. Full armored ZZ, the last 4-star, they're being asked to add buffs to it. Was not included in the survey, but they'll be making adjustments at this time. But exactly what, we'll see. So, Faz Gundam is getting a buff, and both the Zeku's Way and the Atlas Gundam are getting nerfed. Wow. Expansion of lineup, increased slots for recycling counters based on war metal. So basically, in short, I'm gonna kind of skim this a little bit. They're talking about the model, the medals that have come with completing monthly missions and other various things, on top of the fact that we have exceeded 400 mobile suits. And so the mobile suits eligible for recycle tickets and exchange have increased significantly. So in short, TLDR for that is a bigger selection once you hit, say, like gold or platinum. And so, yeah, they received a request to increase the number of items that can be exchanged at the recycle ticket exchange counter. So after considering this, they have expanded the lineup increase. And I believe this will be coming with the update that is upcoming. I know that sounds kind of weird, right? Update upcoming to use. Anyways, we have the Dijeh Traversia. Look at this beauty right here. This thing looks sexy. Ironically, it's still using the Gyaradoga machine guns, so I know a lot of you guys have that, you know, second thought back in your mind. But look at all that Jagdoga hardware, limbs, shield, and it still has the Sutrum DS binders in the back. And boy, does it look cool looking. It is looking cool. Ground and space 650 cost suit used by Char Azamul, the leader of Neo Zeon. So this is supposed to be bridging the gap from the DJ Char that got shot up and eventually leading into the events of Char's counterattack. I'm assuming. And this is all part of that MSV-R stuff. Partially destroyed, or the aircraft or mobile suit. Reading this like straight word for word. Has a fusion reactor, boasts the highest output of Neo Zeon at the time of development. Spare parts of the prototypes of, say, like the Jagdoga and some of the other stuff has been added, so that's why it looks like the way it does. It has a specific skill, which we'll go into as we look at the trailer. It has a skill called Thrust Type Shooting Cooling Mechanism while moving at high speed movement, high heat recovery rate for shooting weapons, and the recovery speed for when overheating increase. I believe that's for beam weaponry, but we'll check that out in a second to get a little more context, because the trailer that I managed to get a snag of is in English. It also has a beam disturbance shield level 2 while concentrating the weapons built into the shield. Following effects will be activated. The secondary weapon is like a particle cannon. When the shield receives a beam attribute shooting attack, the damage is reduced and the damage reaction is alleviated or nullified. When the above effect is activated, the damage and focusing speed of the weapon built into the shield will increase for a certain period of time. It also has simple biosensor level 2 when HP drops below 40%. It basically gets attack power increase in defense and mobility increased. Reduces damage to the unit due to shooting attributes and occurrence of stagger due to damage accumulation. So basically, it has basically a buff against stagger build and like machine gun fire, basically, that stuff like that. Disables reactions that other than stagger due to damage accumulation only at the moment of the skill being activated. Performance of the machine's secondary weapon funnel ×6 concentration fire will change as follows. Normally it'll continuously attack the locked-on target, I'm assuming for X amount of time. When the skill is activated for biosensor, funnels fire an irradiation attack within a certain range onto the locked-on target. Also can be used while moving at high speed. I like this super rate. And then on top of that, the update to the content introduced to take place on Thursday, October 26th, 2023 at 7 p.m. Japan time, I'm assuming. Let me look at Google this really quick. 7 p.m. JP to PST. So that'll be 3 a.m. 3 a.m. Pacific. So it's probably going to be a significant update. This is more likely going to be for version 173. And they are planning to hold a PMU supply reinforcement campaign 2 weeks from the update date. What that means, they're not necessarily saying, other than the content includes a significant increase in battle rewards and limited time missions. We will also hold a special battle, so special battles are coming back, where you can play on maps with different respawn point locations, basically. So yes, I told you guys, having that special mode, as goofy as it is and crazy it is, I think that's a good thing, because we want different things to interact with the suits. So if you ask me, that's a win. Although it's been a while since we conducted a survey last month, we are planning to conduct a new survey soon. Appreciate cooperation. Thank you, Mr. Dev. I can't say it enough. So, anyways, onto our trailer. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. The Dijeh Traversia trailer. Thank God it's in English. I know we just went over the initial tweet. Information from the dev newsletter, which by the way, thank you guys for keeping up with us so far. And now on to the showcase itself. Although we went over the skills kind of verbatim a little bit, I'm going to react to this first, and then we'll get into the skills and all the other stuff too. But I'm very giggity with excitement. I love seeing these things, so let's go. Oh man. It's so weird that it looks so Gundam looking too. Because I've seen screenshots where this has a mono eye. It's so crazy. Yeah, I've seen screenshots where this has a mono eye. So we got a unique beam rifle. So it's not the regular Gyaradoga rifle. It's got sabers. Federation swing, okay. I like it. Beam pistols? Oh, damn. Shoulder beam, binder, cannons, okay. The cannon, the shield cannon, okay. Regular pursue, basically focus fire. Oh, the counter looks so cool. Alright, so let's pause this for a second. Biosensor like we talked about. Biosensor like we talked about. Pretty straightforward. This is good. Sorry. Oh. Oh, it's got Kshatriya stuff. Oh. So moving high speed, heat rate, and overheat recovery speed is increased. Oh, I love that screenshot. I love that screenshot. Alright. I don't know who else to tell you guys, but the trailer music is fire. Alright, so let's go and fast forward a little bit. We'll go through all the 5th anniversary stuff. Neo Zeon, yep. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, so the first thing I uttered was like not even a super important detail, but like it's so crazy that it looks so Gundam-esque, even though it's like a mixture of so many different parts. It's Gundam-esque, but it's not Gundam-esque because of the, you know, there's not even using the mono eye, so it's like a weird hybrid of what we know, or eventually we'll know as the Sazabi. So it's really crazy. Like it's like a mishmash of so many different things. The crazy part is the fact that it doesn't have the same gear. Aesthetically, it's the same design rifle as the Gyaradoga rifle, but it's a unique, specific one, so that's kind of cool. And then the beam saber is basically the saber version of the Gyaradoga axe. So that's kind of neat, because in Char's counterattack, or at least the way that the suits are designed, it can go into a beam tomahawk mode or a beam saber mode. So that's really nice. And it has, here, let's rewind that a little bit. So it looks like it has a, not too far enough. So it looks like it has a burst fire mode for that other mode, and then this is basically in the saber side of things. It is basically Federation, probably the closest dang thing to a Federation style of swing. So this is going to be very easy to at least pick up certain things. One thing to note, and this is a little more on the aesthetic side of things, whoever's doing these trailers, you are kicking some ass, because I really like this comic book style effect that you guys are doing with the trailers, and it almost feels like it's because somebody's been playing Spider-Man 2. Just saying. So moving on, we got the Jagdoga shield, or at least the prototype, but before that, the beam pistols from the Rick Diaz are still on here. I think the regular Char's DJ has that as well. And then we have the Sutrum DS double binder beam cannon, which, excuse me, I'm fighting a cold, slight cough. It functions the same way. I'm assuming, we haven't seen the values yet, but I would assume it's about 80-90% heat rate. Great for quick stuns, great for like that mid-range standoff. So 650 is going to be pretty crazy. This is going to be a big target, so I assume, on a side note, while we're looking at this also has MA1 as well. It would be absurd for it not to. It might be a long run or a long stretch to say that it has damage control, but let's back up really quick. Sorry, before funnels. So we got the cannons there. Again, Mega Particle Cannon Fire is the shield, so I would assume same mechanics. So this is the regular Pursue Fire, kind of similar to the Hainu, and I'm guessing that's like, yeah, that's a normal counter. So Biosensor. So I think when you counter on Biosensor, when it's irradiating like this, so we got the Kshatriya deal, I think it gets a special counter too as well. Oops, beam disturbance. Oops, sorry, let's back up a little quick. So I think, yeah, while Biosensor's up, basically, damages are reduced by a certain amount and reactions are mitigated. I think, I don't know if this is something that repeats. I think we'll know more as we start going into practice. I'm not sure exactly how that works. Like, I understand the description, but the more the context of, what leads into that. So I don't know if biosensor plays a factor in it or not. Just a lot to kind of take in at 2 a.m. But man, just any type of damage reduction is always a good thing, especially in the heat of higher cost fighting, especially potentially for climb matches too. So thrust firing, this is a big deal because while you're boosting around at high speed, heat rate and your overheat recovery speed of ranged weapons are increased. So overheating, so you do build, I don't know if they mean like if you use this, the heat rate just automatically overheats, depending on if it's like boosting weapons or something. It might be funnels, hard to say, I'm not sure. This might also lend into the fact that if you are overheating your weapons, like their beam rifle or whatever, or even like the funnels are on cooldown, I think this helps with the recovery rate. I'm not sure how that affects the heat rate while they're unused or whatever. It could be helping them to cool down faster and leaning into that sort of aggressive play that you probably want to see with certain suits. But we'll probably find out tomorrow night, essentially, technically Thursday morning if you're on the North American West Coast. But I'm excited. Like, it's bulky as hell, but at the same time, it's just, it looks like a lot of fun, and I want to see how it does. And that looks like right there, I believe that's the special counter that it gets when biosensor is in effect, because it's getting hit by that shield. That is stupid cool. But yeah, I can't stress enough how cool this suit looks. Even though we know it's a Xeon design or Xeon cobble or whatever you want to refer to it, and it has that sort of Gundam-esque head too. That's the crazy part. We know this is technically supposed to have a mono eye as well, but it has like the the Gundam-esque eyes to go along with that. But yeah, it's a 650 general 4-star. Oh man, it's gonna be fun, and it's gonna be stressful playing with the suit, but nonetheless, I am super excited. So, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes tonight's special GNN episode for the Dijeh Traversia, the 4-star upcoming 650 suit that's coming in October, basically Thursday night at 3 a.m. in the morning on the west coast of the United States. If you guys enjoyed this video, please do not hesitate to hit that like button and subscribe. Definitely keeps you guys all informed on things like this and whatever we get ourselves into. And let me know if you want to pull for something as cool as this, or you want to just wait for the Banshee Norn. I know some people are waiting for the what's the other suit? The Rosen Zulu. Let me know what you guys think. So until then, I'll see you guys all the next video. Take care.